Okay, I can't believe it's here again already, guys, but welcome to CES 2026. I'm John Gersman with the Harris Poll, and I'm joined by Lauren Bernard and Mike Matheson. So great to see you both.
Great to see you, John.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited. What we're going to talk about today is CTV and where it's sort of at in its evolution. I don't know if you describe it yet as a teenager, but it's definitely someone who an industry that's moved on in incredible ways. What are you sort of seeing this year as you look at 2026, and where are we at?
I'm really excited about a lot of the progress that we made in 2025 to address some of the fragmentation challenges that have really been plaguing advertisers' ability to drive measurable outcomes in CTV. And from the perspective of Amazon, this year we made measurable advancements in launching new partnerships with publishers such as Disney and Netflix, et cetera. So solving that fragmentation problem from the perspective of access to supply. And then additionally, the investments that we've made in signals and launching our authenticated graph, and now being able to actually have an authenticated signal of audiences across all of those publishers. To me, those are really exciting advancements which lay the foundation to really transform CTV into a performance focused channel as opposed to just a reach-based one.
Interesting, Lauren, because that's really the promise, right? You have this big TV experience with the targeted for advertisers and marketers, the targeted ability of audience measurement. I mean, Mike, what are you seeing when you look at this?
I think it's a big plus one to a lot of those same themes. I think we're looking at signals and how do we make CTV, which traditionally, big screen was an awareness play, how do we make it more precise and performant for our marketers? And that's a lot of what we're focused on at IAS this year, is how do we continue to drive towards those performance-oriented outcomes for marketers? How do we bring that level of precision to the big screen and really do it holistically across all CTV devices, publishers around the globe?
Got it.
It's really the quality and the density of signals that unlock those use cases, whether it's around, like an IAS signal, like understanding the brand safety nature of the content and other things like that, or the audience nature, et cetera. Those are the things that really enable us to make informed decisions as a DSP when we're deciding which impression to serve to a particular campaign.
It's really interesting. So as you're thinking about advertisers and marketers, also with the economy being what it is, it's also sort of a trade-off in making marketing decisions. Are there sort of key things that advertisers and marketers should be focusing on as they think about CTV?
Yeah, I think it's one of the core themes that we really need to continue to challenge ourselves to do better, is how do we make CTV advertising more efficient? How do we rely on media quality signals to make sure that we're matching every impression to the most contextually aligned ad opportunity for brands to really extract the most value out of every CPM that they're spending on CTV, and doing it with even more transparency and objectivity across the various apps and devices where those campaigns are running.
You stole my word, efficiency. That's what's in my head, because
It is a theme. It is a theme.
Yeah.
We do tend to agree on a lot of things. So, but yeah, I think efficiency, and again, it kind of all goes back to the signals and the information that you know about who saw the ad and how accurate was that signal to inform that. But again, kind of consolidating access to supply through a single point and having these signals, it enables you to now actually optimize holistically across multiple publishers, which is what delivers the efficiency savings. That coupled with now, with those signals, you're not just looking at reach-based outcomes, but we can actually start to understand long-term sales or path to conversion analytics, a lot of those deep insights that advertisers have been getting through Amazon Marketing Cloud for a long time. Now you can apply those to your streaming TV investments and really understand not only your frequency savings when you're deploying a holistic approach, but also the long-term business impact, which is really what we're getting to.
That's really interesting, Lauren, and that's maybe a good segue into obviously something you guys both know a lot about, which is sort of measurement and attribution. I mean, how is that really improving and changing as you look to 2026?
Yeah, I mean, I think measurement, it takes so many different forms, right? Like, I think a big part of our business that we're focused on at IAS is how are we measuring, media quality? How are we measuring brand safety and making sure that things like fraud and invalid traffic are, removed from the campaign cycle? And those things, although traditionally on the open web, they're also very important on CTV formats as well. So measuring both, the media quality of every impression, and then also making sure that campaigns are avoiding any of the bad stuff and device spoofing, and making sure we're protecting our customers from that. That's a core part of what measurement we're doing, coupled with some of the concepts Lauren was touching on in terms of attribution towards end outcomes that a particular campaign may be trying to go after for a brand or a marketer, and how are we making sure that attribution is clearly identified to understand what's the best supply, what's the best impression, what's the best path to those impressions to make it the most efficient way for a marketer to reach that end goal.
So sort of a linear-like TV experience, a big TV experience for a viewer, but far more sort of precision.
Very much
for marketers and advertisers.
Bringing that linear-like transparency onto the CTV environment.
Oh, I see.
Oh my God, you stole my word again, transparency.
Pull on that
we
thread,
actually
Lauren.
didn't
Go
rehearse
for it.
this. This
We
really
didn't
is.
rehearse this.
You guys
This
are
really
killing
is
it.
on the spot.
Yeah.
but
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think for us, the measurement piece, again, I mean, the CTV world and the TV world in general, it's been a reach-based currency for decades, right? And as we work with advertisers to kind of shift that to more outcomes-based models, I think what's really interesting and how I see that evolving is within Amazon Marketing Cloud, and our approach isn't to define for an advertiser, here's how you should be measuring success, right?
Right.
It's about giving them the tools, the signals, so that they can actually define their own definition of success and then extract the insights that they need to understand the business outcomes that they uniquely care about. And so that's something we've been doing through AMC for a while, but we've also now with AI layered in natural language search capabilities and making that information more accessible to people who don't have the technical capacity to write SQL queries, which used to be required. So.
I could data nerd all day with you guys for the Harris Spa. I love this stuff. But one of the things I did want to ask you too is just about the rich, amazing Amazon shopper data. How are the synergies? How does that work with people that advertisers that might be thinking about CTV?
So if you are an advertiser who sells products on Amazon and you also are investing in CTV as a channel, then I mean, it's a beautiful closed loop scenario. And I think what we've been able to do in launching ads in Prime is actually show how when you buy an ad in Prime, that means that when you deploy performance campaigns later, those users are actually more likely to convert when they've been exposed to your message. So being able to really prove some of these things that we've kind of known in the back of our heads are probably true, but being able to really show the impact of brand advertising in a fully closed loop way. So I think having that shopper data plus the media enables us to tell that story. But those shopper insights are also signals that inform a wide array of different types of optimization in terms of just lookalike audience modeling and things like that. So the signals help many different types of categories.
So interesting. All right, what have I forgotten to ask you guys? You guys know all this stuff.
Well, I think there's something really interesting that, Lauren, you touched on earlier, and maybe we can double click into, is when we think about the access to this type of premium environment with CTV, which historically TV advertising was very much for the largest brands in the world, but now it's very much democratized where brands and ad buyers of all types of sizes,
lowering
they can
the barrier
access
of entry.
100% it is. It's making it a lot more accessible to all different types of media buyers, and it's our responsibility, and we take it very seriously. How do we make our tools easier for them to use? So one of the latest things that we announced leading up to CES this year was the launch of the IAS agent, and it's really about democratizing access to really rich insights about media and how brands perform on certain media, and making that accessible and easy to use with natural language selections for marketers to actually ask questions about how their campaigns are performing and to also receive actionable insights tools to apply to their campaigns to continue optimizing towards that efficiency. So I think that access and democratization of deep insights is a huge theme for us that we're very excited for in the new year, and we expect to continue to mature.
Fantastic. Lauren, last thing, what are you looking forward to this year?
Yeah, I think we're also doing a lot of investment in AI agents and focusing on building intuitive solutions that address either bottlenecks or workflow inefficiencies, or things like, I'm an advertiser who doesn't have a relationship with NBCU, and I know I want to run streaming TV, but I don't really know what to buy, and how do I make that really easy for you to discover and activate on? And so I think continuing to invest in simplifying workflows, providing transparency and to advertisers so that they know the choices that they're making, but making it really easy for them to make the right choice.
Amazing. You guys are both fantastic. You've given us a really good primer on CTV for 2026. This is the Harris Poll Stagwell from CES, and you guys have a great time here in Las Vegas.
Thank you
too.
so much.
Cheers.
Thank you.